Frog Pod, the podcast all about progress, where we help young people to discover their purpose and to recognize the truth that progress is possible. Tonight I'm super excited to be joined by Tegan Price, Tag, the unit,
let's go.
and also Jordan Nino. What's up, my dog? I'm excited to have you
Let's
here.
go.
Got the last name right. Nino.
Nino, am I saying it correct? I'm glad. So both of these guys have made a lot of progress. They're wonderful walking examples of progress because of their changes that they made in their bodies, obviously, in the gym, really working hard, but more than that, in their minds, and on a spiritual level, in their entire life has shifted dramatically. So I'm excited to dive into that and talk a little bit more tonight. And as you guys already know, it's all going to be about progress. So my first question for you, Tegan, my boy, what has been the biggest change in your life since our last review? You're actually a returning guest.
Yeah.
It's probably about a year ago that I first had you on.
I think it was August last
Yeah.
year. So like, would you say like, when you mean that, do you mean like my biggest change?
Yeah, exactly.
Like mentally wise, it's gone like, I've grown so much as like a person, and like just willing to be like, to like learn to like discipline myself every single day. Like it's been like a huge, like if I was looking at myself like a year ago, I'd be like, he's just not it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I feel like I've sharpened my sword mentally.
That's powerful. Yeah. And because of that progress that you made, and the consistency that you have built up, we were talking earlier, you're 370 days a year, you know, like you don't take rest. You're really committed to creating this next level version of yourself.
Yeah.
You're not happy with the old version.
No.
I'm curious, some of that has spurred some hate in your life.
Yeah.
The haters, it's real, man. So why do you think people choose to hate on you?
I feel like because I'm doing like so well, like people don't want to see, no one wants to see you succeed, like at all. Like everyone hates like seeing that person like succeed. So I feel like when they see that person, like for instance me, like they just don't like, and people just always never liked me at all. Like ever since like, I went to LA the very first time with Zach and Zach flew me out. Like everyone just felt like so entitled and like felt like I was just lucky, but like, it's like people put like a label on you.
Sure. So
it's like, I'm not lucky, like it just happened. Like there's something other than just luck into the situation.
Right. The good things in your life come from your hard work.
Exactly.
And from your genuine heart.
Yeah.
Like you're a fun dude to be around.
Yeah.
I wonder good things are coming to you.
Yeah.
So you think it mostly stems from jealousy then?
100% jealousy. People hate to see you winning all the time. They never want to see you winning.
Why do you think that is? Like, I like to see you win.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, dude, the jealous voice in my head, it still shows up sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'll see you doing dope stuff, and I'm like, dude, I want to make gym
And
that's
see, that's another thing too.
But, like, there's another part of me that celebrates it, you know?
Yeah, and then the other thing with this too is that like when I started making like these gym vlogs and stuff, like I never really had any desire to, but then I just like picked up a camera and just kind of said like, I'm just gonna run with it. Like if the opportunity is there, I'm gonna take it.
Sure.
And yeah, I mean, people may say stuff like behind my back and say like it's not like anything they would want to do. It's because they're already too comfortable. Like I'm so uncomfortable doing this in front of people. Like in my head, like I just have to get over that like factor of like being so uncomfortable with people looking at me while I'm doing this stuff. But like it's just so worth it in my head if it actually does go off. Like it's gonna be like insane.
Yeah.
Those same people that were talking about me are gonna be the ones that wish they were like with me all the time.
The first members of your fan base.
Literally.
Dude.
And the first members of my fan base are always my haters, but they're always the ones that view my story.
First ones to comment.
First ones to comment. Oh yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting how you've turned even that into something that is for your benefit.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, and it's the thing with hate too, like you could sit there and say that it doesn't bother you. It deep down, like it beats me up every single, but I cannot like let like that person that said that stuff to me know that. Because if I did that, then like they're just gonna keep winning and keep doing it and doing it. So I'd rather make them suffer themselves by seeing me succeed even more. Wow. Like if I was to look back and tell myself last year that I was gonna like have abs by like this time, I wouldn't have believed it. Because I was still like uncomfortable with myself. Like I still looked at myself in the mirror and I was just not happy with myself.
Right. Your level of confidence has grown so much. Your vision.
Yeah, my vision. Yeah. The vision's been like so high.
That's powerful, man.
Yeah.
So I think it's courageous that you admit that it does get to you. I mean, it does bother you, but if you let that drag you down and you fail, then those people, they're gonna think that they're the ones who have the power to be successful, and then they're gonna keep on tearing other people down. So I'm glad that you're choosing to pursuing progress.
Yeah, and that's
important.
number one thing is progress.
So I'm curious, since you said that that does hurt you, what is your go-to to find peace when the haters are coming for you?
Work super hard.
Mm.
Work harder than them every single day of the week, man. Every single day, every hour, every minute.
Sure. People say evil doesn't sleep, right?
It never sleeps.
That's interesting.
Just don't stop working.
Right. So now that you're fit and healthy, I mean, you've achieved a lot of the vision, a lot of the dreams and goals that you set out for yourself.
Yeah.
What's your motivation now to go to the gym and to work out? Is it mostly that hate, or what is it?
It's not even like motivation anymore. It's like discipline. Like if I don't go to the gym, like I'm like I just can't deal with myself.
Mm.
Like it's gotten to the point where like mentally, like I'll have like headaches. Like my body's
Really?
wired. Like I have headaches where like and then as soon as I go work out, I'm like happier than ever can be. Like I just love like putting myself like in a very like not bad position, but like always pushing myself and just seeing myself struggle.
Sure. Absolutely, man. And that message of progress that you found for yourself, you're sharing that with other people now. Jordan now, you've been training him for how long?
Since like end of February.
Okay, gotcha, right now.
And
You're good.
Okay. The funny story about that too is like he'll tell you like he never really like he always like on the outside version of me, he had the same like vision as everybody else. Like everyone kind of wants to make like my character like look bad.
Right.
And so like he heard some stuff about me that wasn't true, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said he would never want to like talk to me because he always thought I was just that character that people have like, made me out to be. And then I was like, oh no, dude, like I'll help you out. I was like, I'm like, here we are.
Yeah.
And he's been like consistently going. Guy works hard.
His perspective shifted.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
So what was the first thing that changed your perspective of Tegan? I'm curious.
Honestly, like, you know, the word was, you know, Tegan's just a really bad guy. You know, like he just, you know, he's like his ego's super high, and then he came to me and he's like, and I like asked him for, because like I've asked other people for help in the gym, and I just really haven't got really good advice. Like they'll just be like, well, you just gotta do it, and they don't really like fall through. And Tegan, I remember the first day I went to the gym, he called me and he's like, you got this, dude. Like you're gonna like I still have like video recordings of him just like, don't stop. Like you gotta go. Like he'd call me like the first week when we weren't working out, it was just me by myself, and he'd make sure I had to go to the gym.
Wow.
And like that's just, I think that's why I'm so good, because like he's like the only person that's like ever. I mean, he says, you know, it's all me. Like I do the work, but in all honesty, like he really brought me to what I am right now.
Right on.
Yeah.
No, I can tell you've been putting in the work. You're making progress.
Thank you.
That shift, I'm so glad you said that, because that's so powerful. You are working harder than the haters because you're actively going to people and encouraging them.
Yeah.
Actively being supportive. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, and it's like when people ask me for help, like most of the time, like I just tell them like, hey, like, you know, like I want you to like figure it out the first week, and once you get over that first week hump, because the first week of working out sucks. It's terrible. You're sore, you hate your life, like you don't even especially after legs, dude. And the thing with Jordan was like, I was sitting there the first week and I was like, and the one thing that sucks the most is tire flips in my head. And I started doing them like as cardio, and I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna have Jordan do it. I remember he could barely do one back-to-back without taking a break.
No, I remember the first time I did it, I only went like half the way. At the factory, they have like I don't know how long it is.
The greens.
Yeah, the green turf.
I think I only flipped it like halfway, and I was tired. Like it sucked. Yeah, that first week it really did suck.
I remember the ring for sure.
I remember laying down in bed. I'd have to have like pillows right here, because like because he would put me through like these intense workouts, but I stuck to it because he pushed me. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think there's a mental aspect to it for sure. Like it takes a while for your body to catch up and change.
Oh, yeah.
But the brain, like first you gotta convince yourself that it's real.
Yeah.
Like we're doing this, progress is possible, this is what's happening. So I'm curious, along that same line of thought, what are some of the beliefs in your brain you've had to change in order to become this next level version of yourself?
So you kind of have to, in all honesty, you have to like look at yourself in the mirror and like literally just call yourself out for stuff. Because if you do not, like you're not gonna see anything. Because if you're sitting there saying like, for instance, for me, like if you don't say you're fat, like where are you gonna go? You can't just say, well, you're just a little big.
Sure.
You know, because you gotta be like raw with yourself. I feel like that's the only way I made progress. Like I didn't really think about it before, but like after like my knowledge and everything is like grown, I got to like that point where I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, I'm not good enough. Like I gotta get going. Like I gotta work hard. you know?
This scares me because I think you're playing on a fine line.
Yeah.
I totally agree with and understand like that radical accountability.
Yeah.
You have to be honest, like you have to recognize to make progress that you're not perfect, and that's painful to recognize.
Yeah, 100% it's painful.
But at the same time, I feel like the driving force behind the good things in my life has always been self-love.
Yeah.
And it is raw, it is real, it's not pretty, but it comes from love. So how do you find that balance?
So that balance is like,
Because you can't be your own hater, you know?
No. So like, if I'm really like deep down, like wanting to like, I'll like look at myself and I'll be like, okay, I noticed this difference, and then like I'll post about it, or like I'll take a picture and like post it everywhere, and then like people like, you know, I have people that love me, people that like cheer me on, and I love that. But like, I just kind of like look at myself, and if I notice any like differences, it makes me happy. Like 1 pound a week, like if I lost a pound, I was happy. Like take those little like bits of progress and still like love yourself.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Celebrating the progress instead of, and the potential, the human potential, instead of just like this false version of perfection, because it's not real.
Exactly.
And sometimes you have to say, you know what, that version of Tegan, he was fat.
Yeah.
And that version of Tegan, he wasn't able to bring you to that next level.
Exactly. So
But it doesn't mean like your soul is like not good at it.
No.
This is just you becoming who you're meant to be.
And the fact that like you can change, like so many people have potential, they just haven't found it yet. That's the thing that's like crazy to me. Like if I was to look at myself, let's say if I stayed the exact same way as I did end of high school till now, like I would be like, and if I had no idea I was gonna be 215 pounds right now, I don't know what I would be doing. Like I feel like the potential is like through the roof once you get over like a year into it.
Yeah.
Like,
now I'm thinking 10 years in the future.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
For real. Yeah. Jordan, for you, what's been the biggest change of belief or mindset change?
I think
allowed you to make progress.
my work ethic has just like gone up after, you know, like just again, like you have to like realize you have a problem.
Yeah.
For me, I remember I went clothes shopping with my mom, and I've always been, you know, I've been in XL for a while, and I remember when that XL was just kind of tight, and I had to jump up to a 2XL, and that was just, it was like a switch. Like I have to do something. People say they're like tired of themselves, but if you're really tired of yourself, you know, you're gonna do something about it.
Yeah.
So then I had to, and you know, I'm grateful that Tegan's here because it's kind of hard without a workout partner. You know,
Absolutely.
Workout partner, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
It's you know, you have someone to push, and you know, like they push you too. It's just a lot of positive energy. You know, like you can tell them like how you're feeling. You know, like, well, I'm just kind of like feeling big today. You know, like, and they'll give you like advice, especially him where like he's been in this situation.
Yes.
And it's nice because you know, he's gone through it already.
Right.
He's made progress, and now he's telling me how to like make good progress, and you know, it's worked. You know?
Dude, I love this interview so much. We're only like just getting in here, but like so many things about self-worth, so many things about confidence, so many things about choosing to make progress and believe in, you know, the truth that you can get better. At the very beginning when it's the hardest, but that's the most important thing, man. You gotta believe that next version is coming.
Yeah, 100%.
And also, Tegan, I just want to acknowledge you for, I know the hate's out there. I know that people, sometimes your confidence comes out to them as ego. But the evidence is here, man.
Yeah.
You helping people out, you making sure that you're lifting other people up and not just focusing on like only your own selfish desires. That's proof that your heart is in the right place, and it's proof that progress is possible.
Yeah.
I mean, not just for you, but for all of us.
Yeah. 100%.
That's the most inspiring thing, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, I always say that at the beginning of my questions. I need to.
No, you're
It's
good.
because it's late at night, dog.
Oh yeah, no, you're chill.
It's because I really am a curious person, dog. I want to do something I've never done before here on the podcast.
Oh, let's go.
You guys already have like started to tell the real raw truth about each other, but I feel like sometimes it's important to talk behind each other's back. Let me explain what I mean by this, though. I think you gotta talk nice. Like you gotta compliment and lift your bros up even when they're not around.
Yeah. Oh,
So we're gonna do something a little bit different. Tegan, I'm gonna ask you to step out of the room for just a little bit.
okay.
And I've got a few questions for Jordan,
Okay.
and then once you come back, I've got a few questions for you.
Okay, bet.
We'll let you know when it's time to come back in.
All right, see you, dude.
Okay, see ya.
Have fun.
Go get you a punching bag, dude.
This is a little bit different, huh?
I'm excited.
But sometimes, like, they gotta be out just for you to tell the real raw truth about the good things and about the bad things too. So, we're gonna brag about Tegan a little bit while he's gone. So he can listen to this later. But Jordan, I want you to tell Tegan what it is that you appreciate about him.
What I appreciate appreciate about him is how hard he pushes me. Because, you know, like, you can only push yourself to a certain limit, I feel. And, you know, that extra push is just, you know, it gets you far.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know.
Yeah.
He's pushed me for the past 4 months, you know. And I honestly really don't think I'd be here without, like, I can say that.
I'm glad to hear
that.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm proud, like, of my progress. You know, I've made some good progress. You know, but I put in the work in. Tegan's been there for most of it.
That's
most
dope.
of it.
Yeah, and I'm sure he feels the same way about you too. I mean, we'll hear it in a few minutes. I'm sure. So, also, constructive criticism can be an important part of a healthy relationship. I mean, just like you said, sometimes you have to accept things about yourself and then push yourself to become better.
Yeah.
What feedback do you have for Tegan that might be a little bit difficult to say to his face?
I feel like when we're working out, like, he's kind of set on certain workouts, and like I kind of want to like try things, but I just don't know. I mean, the workouts we do now are good, but you know, like, you see things on TikTok and like all these like different workouts, and you know, you just kind of want to try them.
Yeah.
I just don't want to ever, you know, be like, hey, like, I don't want to do this, because like he's brought me into it.
Sure.
You know, like, I feel like I don't have the power to tell him like, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
That's just like sometimes, but
Yeah.
the workouts are nice, you know. But we could do something different. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
He's gonna listen back. He's gonna be like, fine, we'll do the hip thrust.
Yeah.
You know, like,
just the glute bridges.
Yeah. No, for real. Especially once you found something that works, found something that does help you to make progress. Sometimes then you get stuck again, and then you like can't find a better way, even though there is, you know. So thanks for that. That's some good honesty there. So tell us something while he's out of the room that not many other people know about Tegan. You guys are pretty close as gym partners.
I feel like, you know, he's like, I think he's got a little soft side. You know, like, he's a big guy, and you know, I feel he's, you know, at the club, you could tell like the relationships he has with the kids, and you can tell he has a soft side. And you know, not a lot of people know, because he got his TikToks and him being all muscular and masculine, you know, but he's got a soft side.
Yeah, that's the cool thing is that he's both.
Yeah,
both are real,
which makes him just a genuine person.
Yeah,
he's not just, you know, just like the big dude at the gym, you know, just like walking in and whatever. Like, like, especially at the gym, like, he'll just like, if someone asks for help or someone spots him, like, he's there. You know what I mean? Like, especially like the culture at that factory is just, it's really nice, because like, you know, everybody talks to each other, and I feel like
that's cool.
He's a genuine guy.
That's awesome. Thanks, Jordan. Do you want to go switch some spots?
Yeah,
we'll send Tegan back in here.
We have a little switch.
Yeah,
switch room.
You guys will have to let me know after this podcast. If you like this.
Are you on the live? Are you recording it, or are you live?
Yeah, it's recording.
Oh, I thought you were live. My bad.
Get on in here, man. So you're gonna listen later to what Jordan said. He was pretty nice to you, so.
Cool.
Can't get that to stand up.
Sorry.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So, Tegan, go ahead and tell Jordan what you appreciate about him while he's out of the room. Talk nice behind his back.
He's for him to keep up and like every single week still put in the hours. Like, I train pretty intense, and like for him to follow along with me is like kind of crazy, especially like, cause he's done lifting before, but like the fact that like he's willing to keep going and keep trying like new things and like still trying to lift heavy is like, it's insane. Like, he works super hard.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And you know how hard it is too, because you've been in that position. What's some feedback that you have for Jordan that might be a little bit hard to say right to his face?
Oh, for instance, like it was like today, like it was like a really weird day. Like today we hit legs, and it was just a really weird day. We got done. I usually do Vanessa. You ever heard Vanessa before? He just didn't do it. Like, he just.
Oh, like a workout Vanessa? No.
Yeah, like those times when it's like super hard and like you.
Oh,
like,
okay.
You know, you have like a.
Like a Karen. Or
Yeah.
like a Vanessa.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like Vanessa's just like an ab workout lady like that we watch and and like he just didn't like do it today. Like usually he does, but like he was just laying there and like he was just dead. Like, and just trying to have like push, and he just was not about it. He was super tired, like letting the tiredness get to him and stuff like that, you know?
Why is it so important from a mental aspect that he keeps going even when he's that tired?
Because I feel like the outcome of like, because you'll feel so much better after when you get it done. Because you'll be like, oh man, I missed out on like this workout. Well then like Because you're like, I did that when I was
more confidence, more belief.
Exactly.
Leave it all out on the floor. That's awesome.
Exactly.
I like that. Tell us something that not many people know about Jordan. You guys are pretty tight.
I mean, he's a pretty good guy. Like he's got it there. He's definitely like he could definitely do like if I wasn't there for him, like I'm pretty sure he could have done everything all by himself too. But like I feel like he's just that's a hard question, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's better together.
Yeah.
Even if you could do it alone, man.
Yeah, it's better together. But like even when I wasn't there, like he still works even when like I'm not there. So I mean I feel like he's just a hard worker.
Yeah, everything you see is real.
Yeah, like even without me, like he said he'll shoot me a text, ask me like what the workouts are, and then he just gets it done.
Yeah, that's awesome, dog.
Yeah.
Sweet. Jordan, we're ready for you. Get back in here, dog.
Hurry, dude.
I don't know if could you hear us all the time?
I walk like far over to the ring.
Okay, you were like trying not to. Okay. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Hey, he said some nice things, and you said some nice things about yourself.
No, I just hate you.
No, that's good.
I'm not fake.
Oh,
That's
that brings us right to our next question, which is, give us some examples, like just how serious has that hate been? When you say that there's haters, what do you mean by that?
I mean, like some of the closest people I know are like close to me are like the ones that are like secretly talking. Like I've heard stuff, and then like I bring it up to the person, and like it just isn't true, and then they're like, oh no, I would never say that, and then like it's just so like. I guess I don't know how would you say that? It's just like crazy to me that like I could share so much, like I had so much vulnerability with those people.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And then the fact that like they're willing to like, judge me on like how my pump picks are, like why is he doing this, like they won't tell that to my face, like I just don't feel like I feel like it's just really fake, fake love, like toxic.
Yeah.
Like that's mainly like one of them.
It's way better to leave it all out on the floor.
Yeah, like way better. I feel like.
Jordan, I'm curious, Doc. I'm always curious.
You're just curious, dude.
That time it was on purpose, a little bit. Do you ever doubt? Is there ever a moment in your mind, like when it's dark, like when you're not feeling good, you doubt?
Oh yeah,
that you can make progress?
There's. I think it's like almost every day.
I think we all have.
Well, I'll just think like, like it's kind of hard to like see the future.
Yeah.
Like when like I'm like trying to lose weight. It's a process, like I'm not gonna get to where I want to be in the next, by the end of the summer. I'll like sit there and think like, it's gonna be a long time, but like I'm not gonna get there unless I'm like, dude, you just gotta do it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I love this quote that the time is gonna pass whether you're working or not.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So you might as well be working.
Yeah.
What do you do in those moments to find motivation or to find encouragement to really keep pushing?
I think the end result, thinking of the end result, because I've always been a big guy, and I think just thinking of me, like being to a point where I could just like take off my shirt, like that's like my biggest insecurity is taking off my shirt. But being to that point where you just, take it off and not even like have to worry.
Yeah.
Like
you're at the pool, it's normal.
It just makes me happy. It makes me like, it gives me drive to like be there, to get there.
Yeah.
And like obviously timing, like it's gonna take a while, like it gets in the way, but I think when you think about like the end result, like it's you kind of just imagine it. That really just motivates me.
Yeah.
To do these kinds
to
of
visualize.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. I'm excited to see you become that picture in your head.
I'm excited.
And even better.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Tell me why hate is so destructive to progress, whether it's hating yourself or other people hating from the outside.
I feel like it can go both ways because you sit there and you kind of contemplate to yourself. You're sitting there and you're like, well, maybe I am that. Like you kind of in the back of your head, you always have that voice that's like, like, oh, maybe I am like this. Like maybe I should just stop.
Yeah.
But then you just remember like everything that you've already gone through so far, and you just want to keep going. But I feel like definitely like owning real estate in people's heads is like one of the best things in the world. I can tell you right now, I go to bed every single night knowing that I'm in someone's head. I'm literally owning people.
That's really interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
That is really interesting because Jeff Bezos isn't rich because of all his money. He's rich because your grandma's buying Christmas gifts for you right now. Like she's thinking about you. That's interesting.
Yeah, like imagine like letting someone bother you like your whole entire life. Like I've had that account I was telling you about. literally DM me at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, they woke up and chose violence.
They woke up thinking about you, dog. That's like
that literally makes me, I've never been more happy knowing that, like, I'm in their head just like, literally just like swimming laps. Like,
that's
I'm
really
not
weird. That's like creepy.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it that way.
Yeah. Dude, it's an amazing feeling too.
I love that other thing that you pointed out though, that the only hate that can hurt you is your own hate.
Exactly.
Like if somebody else says something and it bothers you, it's because you are already thinking the same thing.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So how do you overcome that voice of hate in your own head? Like what actually do you do?
Dude, that's a good question. That's a very good question. I would say like mainly you just have to like you're always gonna be battling yourself.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. And like if you let that voice get to you and let it run your life, you're not gonna get anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So in my head I just can't let that voice that voice helps me out in a way. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, if I look at myself and I'm thinking in my head like, oh, I don't look good enough. Like me personally, like first time I ever took a shirtless picture. I've never taken a shirtless picture before, and posted it. When I actually felt comfortable enough, I still wasn't comfortable with it. Number one reason why, like my biggest insecurities are like my stretch marks from when I was bigger. Like me personally, I'm starting to think of it now as like battle scars.
For
like
real.
I think that's so sick.
Dude, it shows your progress more than anything else.
Yeah, and so like when I see that, I'm just like, it just really opens up my mind to think like you know, I've come so far, and like I just can't let that voice run my life anymore. So
I love you guys. I love the progress you're making. It really makes me happy.
Yeah.
No, serious. And to be a part of it, real progress to me is not only becoming the best version of yourself, but when you work together, because it just like it multiplies.
Oh yeah.
When you talk about it, when you share inspiring stories like both of you are doing, when you encourage each other and work together. So I thank you guys for being here tonight.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate you for good timing. You're a busy guy.
Appreciate you, dog.
We are here at 10 o'clock in the night.
It is 10 o'clock. It do be 10 o'clock at night. This is a little bit of a silly question off to the side.
Very good, bro.
But all the time I see in like your gym edits, you put like these good songs that really like show like you got the real estate in other people's head, like you're focused. Like what song encapsulates that message to the haters for you?
Absolutely every chance that I get.
Okay.
By DJ Khaled, that song's perfect.
All right, I haven't heard it. I have to go listen.
Yeah, you have to listen. We'll listen to it when I take you home.
Yeah.
Got you,
Dad. Jordan, do you have one?
Do I have one? I just love music. You know what I mean? Like it's like every song. I'd have to say "Random" by GEZ or "Projects" by Moneybagg.
Okay, I do know "Random."
Random's
good.
It's a good song.
Listen to that.
That's a good PR song. You ever want PR? Throw that thing on the
have you
beats and just.
No, have you ever heard the guy in F before?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
He goes hard too.
No Excuses, that's a good one.
Okay.
I like that one a lot.
Alright.
I got a bunch of them.
No, the music is underrated as far as motivation for me. Like even before watching a gym clip, I'll turn on a song and it's just like.
And one of and one of like the biggest things for me too is like one time or a couple times I've gone to the gym. Like this is the biggest. Like I never knew music had that much of like a impact on my workouts, but like my AirPods were dead. And so I had to sit there, I didn't have my charger, and no one was at the gym that I could borrow a charger from. So like I had to mentally just work out and like listen to the music that like doesn't get me pumped up or anything.
Yeah.
And I like that was one of the biggest things. Like you wouldn't think it'd be like you're just in your own head like this constantly. You have nothing to distract you.
Do you know the interesting thing? I actually do silent workouts every once in a while on purpose.
Yeah.
Because it forces me to listen to that voice.
That's
And it's just like you guys were saying, dude, like that voice, I think everybody still has it. I think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson sometimes, he'll have a voice that's like, dude, you're a 50-year-old man, like you don't look, there's gotta be something, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like, it's like you said, you know, that voice that can sometimes guide you in where to go. It shows you where the next progress is at, and it shows you what's not true. And sometimes knowing what's not true helps you to know what is true.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
so you correct it, you remember that that's part of the progress and the journey as well. So that's super powerful.
100%.
You guys have really done a lot. I can see the work in both of your physiques, your bodies. I can see it in the way that you feel. I mean, like, just your mood, your happiness, your confidence in yourself. And I hope that really you feel it when you're alone, like in those moments, choosing to love yourself. So take a moment tonight. Tell me what you're proud of yourself for recently. Let me know. We don't talk about it.
I'd say honestly, honestly, just seeing like my actual abs, like that's always been like a goal of mine. And like just seeing them, like it literally like to this day doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Like it makes no sense at all.
it might seem shallow, but for you, you've seen the work behind it.
Yeah, because like no one knows exactly what you go through every single day. Like I put myself through like, I can't say that word, I was gonna say.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Like, yeah, definitely.
Appreciate you, Dad.
But yeah, of course.
Jordan.
I think me just getting going in the gym. Like it's hard to start. That first week is brutal, and it's only the beginning. So like that's why I say just starting, because I haven't really hit a lot of goals, because I have like weight goals, where I want to be. I'm not nowhere close, but I'm grinding to get there.
Yeah.
But being able to start up the gym is one of my biggest accomplishments right now, because it goes so far into the future.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of myself for being able to start that up.
Yeah. And wouldn't you say he's already through the hardest part?
Yeah, I would say.
Starting
I want to add something to Jordan really quick. The very first month, he kept getting on the scale, and he'd be the same weight. He's like, dude, like nothing's changing. Like that is the biggest thing, is like the scale does not control how you look. Like you could if the scale's gonna fluctuate, you're not gonna like you'll plateau, or you'll go down, or you go up. Like it's just random. I stopped looking at the scale. The only time I ever look at the scale now is like to make sure that I'm like continually going. But there's times that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like I'm supposed to be like down to this much, I thought, and then it goes back up, and like that's like one of the big mental things too. You're like, do I even go anymore? Like it's pointless if I'm just gonna keep going up or going down, And you're just plateauing. You're just like, do I even keep going? And that's the point where you just have to keep going. You just keep going, and then the results will show.
Yeah,
physically.
that's awesome. That determination. And there are so many factors like water. Maybe you're getting muscle. Like maybe you like had a big dinner last night. Like who knows what it was? Dude.
Literally.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm curious for you guys. I gotta stop saying that, dog. Dude, it's just like curious. My goal for next episode. I'm not gonna say curious a single time next episode. Both you guys listen, keep it coming.
I got you.
I'm not gonna say it. But the message of progress that you guys have to share is so powerful. So for my listeners tonight, I want you both to share personally how you know from your own experiences that progress is possible. You can start thinking about it, but that's like the whole message that I want people, after every single episode, whether it's with you guys or a cancer survivor or a millionaire businessman or an author, all those I've had on now, by the way.
That's good for you.
Thanks, dude. Some progress, right?
Yeah, that's progress.
That's insane, dude.
Each one of those episodes, they have different lessons, different experiences, unique things to teach each one of us, and teach me specifically. But the same lesson applies to every single one of them, which is that progress is possible. So you guys share to that list by sharing your own experience. Go ahead.
I'll go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
I always thought I was going to be a big guy for my whole life. Like there was a point where I'm just like, you know what? I'm just not going to care. And look at me now. I can't wait until a year after where I can just say, look at me now, because like I'm going to get there. I promise you, I'm going to get there, and that's progress. Like there's people out there they think they're just not going to make a change with your body, but the biggest thing for me was you just have to do. Like you have to do something. Like for me, I didn't start off on an intense diet, because like I did that before. I used to intermittent fast, but it only lasted maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. I just started cutting down proportions, and that's the first thing I did before even going to the gym. I would just eat a little less, and then I like work my way into the gym, and then one thing that like really helped me at Factory, I committed myself and I bought a year membership. So like it's gonna take my money for a year. Money as a teenager, it's kind of you kind of need.
I know.
So I think that was a big commitment was to do the year plan, and I've been there, like I'd say 80-90% of the time, and I've made some progress.
Absolutely.
32 pounds down. Huh?
Great job, Alex. Yeah, thank you. And counting.
Yeah.
Back kind of to feed off Jordan's idea, same thing with me. Like if you get too comfortable with yourself, like you're not gonna get anywhere. And like everyone thinks that like you have this special mindset. It's like I never had that special mindset. I never thought of going in there and just lifting some weight and throwing it around. Like it's I've always like you just gotta be like you gotta make yourself do it. Like I don't know how to. You gotta callous the mind. You gotta like really put yourself through it, so then whenever you look back, you can keep like you'll be like, oh, I can. And this is gonna be easy. So that's why I feel like if you're always doing something that sucks every single day, it's gonna make it worth it when the bad stuff comes to you because you're gonna be ready for it.
David Goggins said
David Goggins.
once.
There you go, man.
He said, "You want to know how to get mentally tough? You got to couch your mind. You don't want to wake up. You wake up. You don't want to make your bed. You make your bed. You don't want to clean your house. You clean your house. You have to couch your mind.
Yeah.
You got to do things that suck so when they come up, you're ready. And that is important.
And David Goggins is a huge part of like everything.
We'll be going to the gym. We'll just be listening to David. We have a playlist of just David Goggins.
I'll tell you how crazy it is. So we have two guys that have been recently working out with us.
Yeah.
They have a speaker. And so after we get done with our workout, we're dead tired. Like last thing on our mind is doing cardio. Every single time. But it's the best part, probably one of the best times to do it. And shout out Preston and Eric. They've been recently doing it with us. And we'll get the speaker out, and like the whole atmosphere of the gym just changes. And we'll play like motivational stuff over that. And like, we'll play like throughout the whole gym, so everyone can hear it, and everyone just kind of watches as we're going. Like we'll like follow each other right behind. It's like we're just like a freaking army.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. It's intense, man. And we get after each other. We're like the person dying, flipping the tires,
just screaming.
We're like, let's go,
dude. Part of me wants to be there for that. Part of me definitely does not want to see out of it.
I'll start getting like personal with like Jordan. Like I'll be like, hey, they're working harder than you right now. And he's like, no, they're not. It's just like the intensity is there.
It's great. Like I'll show him pictures of just people that just talk bad on him, and he'll be deadlifting. And I'll just pull up a pic on Instagram, and he'll just lift that way.
Fake account.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he'll just
shout out to that guy too. I hope you're watching.
Shout out Casey.
Dude, I hope you guys come back and listen to this episode 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now.
100%.
And that you made even more progress. You're proud of yourselves because you made it, and not only have you made it, but you have a whole new vision, whole new goal at that point, and you're making progress towards that. And I hope you love yourselves even more.
Oh, 100%.
Serious. Yeah. Love you guys. Thanks so much for everything you shared. Thank you guys for listening. Progress is possible.
Yes, sir. Let's go, baby.
That was good.